We're live. Tell everyone your name.
I'm Kathryn Andrews.
And tell everyone about who this story is about.
So this is about a friend of mine, Debbie Boucher-Larson, who passed away from the COVID shot and the booster. And I found out about it through a Facebook posting from one of her family members, and I was just shocked to read her story, and I wanted to share it. I reached out to her family, and they really wanted me to share it as well. So what happened was Debbie is from Long Grove, Illinois, and she was told she had lupus, and she was told by her nurse to never get a flu shot because of lupus and the fact that she had a very low working immune system, if any. So Debbie was caring for her husband at the time who had cancer, and so the nurses suggested that she get the COVID shot to protect her husband. The same nurse who urged her not to get the flu shot. And said that the CDC recommended it and that it would be fine for her to take. Her daughter-in-law told her not to get it. She was a fan of the high wire and told Debbie not to get it, but Debbie didn't listen. She went ahead and got the first vaccine, and she was fine. Then she got the COVID booster, and that's when the problems started. What happened was Debbie woke up paralyzed after the booster. The doctors had no clue for her other than that she tested positive for COVID and that it wasn't her spinal cord. So basically then what happened was for 7 long months, Debbie suffered going from hospital to hospital. They conducted every brutal test you could imagine, tons of therapies. Debbie moved around from facility to facility and hospital to hospital, and was only getting worse. Debbie was still getting plasma infusions because of her lupus, and she was told by certain people in her family, namely her daughter-in-law, not to get the plasma infusions because she thought that they could have blood was not being tested to see if it had, people who had the vaccine, but she continued to get the infusions. And so each time she had the plasma infusion, her health took a turn for the worse. Unlike in the past when the plasma seemed to help her, now it seemed to be hurting her. And her daughter-in-law wanted this to be known because it's important for people undergoing these types of blood transfusion treatments, plasma treatments. So Debbie entered into the hospital system helpless and paralyzed. She was paralyzed from the collarbone down. She was at the mercy of the staff. One facility and their negligence caused Debbie a bed wound so large from not turning her paralyzed body that no human could possibly overcome. Now seriously infected and paralyzed, Debbie passed away on March 3rd, 2023 after this long, exhausting battle of about 7 months. And so her daughter-in-law says, it's my hope that sharing Debbie's story can inspire those with autoimmune diseases to think twice before compromising immunity with an untested experimental product that can attack the spinal cord. Debbie was a longtime friend of mine and a student of mine as well, and I remember her as vibrant and healthy, and that's how I hopefully will.
Do we have a picture of her?
I do not. It's on Facebook, so I don't have it.
Okay, well if you get one, do send it to us because we'll put her on the bus.
I will do that.
Thank you for doing this for your friend. You must sign the bus on her behalf.
I will, thank you.
All right, thank you. Yeah, see if you can get...
Autism destroys families, but more importantly, it destroys our greatest resource, which are our children.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
pledged to find out what is driving the country's rise in autism.
Compiling medical records from a number of databases. He'll direct resources to study environmental factors, exposures, and external factors.
Scientific progress on this has been slow because scientists are frankly scared to ask the question.
Genes don't cause epidemics. You need an environmental toxin, and we're going to look at all the potential culprits.
With no a priori thumb on the scale, you can't look at that.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful to the Secretary for finally saying from an important public platform that this is an epidemic and we need to find the causes and we need to stop it.
Other issues CHC has been pushing for years
are finally gaining mainstream traction.
Today, we're announcing we are removing industry members, pharma members, from FDA advisory committees.
We're seeing reports that you're considering removing the COVID vaccine as a mandatory shot for children.
The recommendation for children was always dubious. The vaccine itself does have profound risk of myocarditis, pericarditis, even strokes.
Very, 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 very few people are still taking these things. In that sense, the mRNA vaccines for COVID in the marketplace are effectively dead.
We are working together to change the federal fluoride recommendations, and we're looking at the science now. There's a direct inverse correlation between fluoride exposure and low IQ in children.
Health officials announced plans to phase out 8 artificial dyes from our food supply.
The FDA is effectively removing all petroleum-based food dyes from the U.S. food supply.
We don't have a surveillance system that actually works, and that is a crime. And we will do that right away. And I understand the perverse incentives that need to be changed right away.
When there's a political will to answer a question like this, it will happen.
We're going to change things for real this time.